Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved official scenarios. We're getting close to the end, guys. Next up is Who Cares? Increased popularity of reality TV in rich countries distracts people and stops them caring about disease outbreaks in poorer countries. Thank you, Kardashians. Reduced funding significantly impacts the surveillance capacity of poor countries and limits their ability to identify and respond to national disease outbreaks. Who cares what happens to poor people? This is one of those weird scenarios where I actually think it makes the game easier, not harder, or at the very worst, it just sort of stays the same. It's just not much point to this scenario in my personal opinion. All this does is it modifies the poor countries and gives them less funding and makes them less likely to detect you. That's about it. And honestly, that's not useful. It's really not. The poor countries were not the threat to begin with. If the rich countries are distracted, that would make this significantly easier. But the poor countries? They weren't that much of a threat to begin with. So, we're going to be playing this on the virus type today because it's super duper effective, and I'm just going to show you guys how this would work. I'm going to go with my standard setup of ATP, Boost Darwinist, Aquasite, Extremophile, and Symptostasis, play on Mega Brutal. Call it Contagion Aching? Sure, why not? Now, if you're going to be playing this scenario, what they're obviously trying to get you to do is to start in an area that is poor and surrounded by poorer countries. So starting in Africa, for example. And you can spread throughout all of Africa and they won't detect you, blah blah blah. Yeah, that sounds great in theory, except if you're playing on Mega Brutal going for 3 stars, it's not really a question of whether or not they detect you. You just care about your overall speed in destroying the world and getting to every single island. Starting in a place like Africa, I mean, yeah, maybe they don't detect you, maybe they don't have a lot of funding, but that's just going to reduce your score because you're going to slow your game down by several months. You still want to get to a place that can get you a good early game spread into those wealthy countries so you can start infecting them, at which point they're going to detect you, in which case, what was the point to begin with? Who cares about this scenario, is what I say. I don't know. Let's go ahead and just go with our standard opening here. I mean, this is going to be a really fast video. I mean, you already know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Standard setup, as a virus, just kill everybody. Shouldn't take me more than like 5 to 6 minutes, if I do it right. Man, Sis's Peach was probably the best ever. Oh yeah, absolutely. Cysts, abscesses, you know, some basic stuff there. Yeah, it's just... I like that there are scenarios that try to make modifications to countries and stuff like this, but this needed to be rebalanced in some way, you know? To justify the poor countries may be, you know, easier to infect, but the rich countries are harder, or something to make it a challenge. This scenario, in my opinion, isn't a challenge. It only can make it easier. I mean, the way we're playing it, it's not going to matter, but it's really not that hard. And why would it be? I don't know. We're going to go for some transmissions next, I think. Rio Olympics mystery, yeah. Don't care, you guys can have your Olympic Games. Won't matter to me none. Oh, we got diarrhea. Tiny bit of lethality shouldn't be an issue for me at this point. Come on, give me that air transmission. Thank you. Oh, cool, we got into New Zealand pretty early on. That's lucky. Water transmission, going into Europe, and now we're going to get into some of those wealthy countries, which means we're going to get detected pretty early on now. Which means, really, what was the difference? See, they detected us. The only way this scenario matters is if you started in a poor country and stayed in the poor country. Otherwise, who cares? The second you get a good healthy spread, which you should be doing anyway, you'll be detected. There's no difference. Wow, we're actually getting a really shockingly good spread pretty quickly here. Drug resistance, cold resistance. My standard openers here. We got fever, that's a tiny bit more lethality, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. More drug resistance probably, since that's more expensive before the genetic drift affects me. And cold resistance. And anything else we care about in the symptoms tree? Not right now. I think we just go for some genetic hardening and we wait until we can get into some more islands. Good, got into New Guinea. Got into the Philippines. Probably just missing Greenland now if I had to guess. Genetic hardening level 1 and 2. Could go for some world transmission since we're clearly having some trouble in Russia. That'll help. Of course, a little extra mutation chance, like so. Might get me a little bit more lethality than I'm comfortable with at the moment. And to that extent, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of systemic infection. And diarrhea. And fever. I know it costs me a lot of DNA, but I'm not worried about DNA. Look, if you're playing this fast, it's not hard. Just need to get an island off to Greenland before they freak out. Greenland and Sweden, apparently. There we go, that's Greenland right there. Alright, necrosis time. Oh, it's too easy. There's immune suppression. Absolutely, you guys. Go ahead. Just keep infecting everyone around you. Let's go for paralysis, work toward that coma, anything to slow down the cure. There's a total organ failure, love it. Coma's going to cost me 40 DNA, alright, that's fine. Insomnia. Starting to get a pretty reasonable amount of mutation chance here, surprisingly. Anything to slow down the cure would be great. Global research focused on a cure, Diarrhea, okay. Let's go for the hemorrhagic shock. Come on, Sweden. There we go, there we go. Save up the rest of my points for genetic reshuffles toward the end of the game. Yeah, super duper easy. I just don't really see the point of this scenario. It's, it offers no real challenge in my opinion. So, you know, take it as you will. But that's why I'm kind of going fast on this video, because why spend a lot of time on a scenario that doesn't matter? Why bother? I mean, yeah, you could play as something else if you want to, like the necrovirus and stuff like that, that's fine, but why? It's not going to be any different than it was before. If you're doing it right on Mega Brutal, going for 3 stars, it's like playing any regular scenario. So, there you go. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.